picture the situation. You come in from work and you say, damn it, I'd love a cold beer now. So you go to your fridge and you check if you have a cold beer, and you don't. You have a warm beer because you didn't put the beer in the fridge because you don't want to drink too many beers because they're cold. So what do? You take your beer, you put it in a paper towel, if you know some trick, whatever, you shove it in your freezer, and then you wait for it to get cold like an idiot, or you forget it in there and it explodes. Neither of the situations is particularly desirable when you want a cold beer. So what I've done to remedy this situation is to build a beer cooler which can water cool my beer. Yep, we're water cooling beer. And I'm doing it with the help of these little guys here. These are peltier elements. They're featured a number of times on this channel, and they're really interesting because if you apply power to them, then the one side gets really hot and the other side gets really cold. And the colder you can keep the hot side, the colder side gets. And how to keep the hot side cold? Well, with water cooling, of course. And how to get the coldness into the beer? Well, with water cooling, chilling, I guess. And that's what we've done. We built a peltier powered beer cooling water cooler. Yeah. Okay, so where does this leave us? Conclusion time. We have a beautiful Mac Pro-like fancy grill, as you can see here. It was really quite a challenge to 3D design and print even. Thanks a lot to the person who knows who he is and printed that for me on their giant medium fast printer. Over here we have some side panels. This one doesn't fit because I moved the radiator, so that has to be redone anyway, but that's okay for now. On the front we have a glorious panel with lighting effects. The lighting obviously changes color with the temperature of the water inside here right now. It is a warm 23.3 degrees, as you can see maybe on the panel there. And we've also integrated our MQTT library into the cooler. So the only thing that's left to do is show you. So I built it into the here we can also make our usual effects to make it really pretty. Let me turn off the lights quickly. Look at that, just beautiful. I have some other effects here, but that's not important right now. We can change the brightness, of course, and we're going to put it back to our solid mode, which is the cooler mode, and we can actually cool a drink with it. And I'm going to quickly grab a drink, put in there. We can stop that up, time it. So once we put this beer in here, we also have a tap here to remove any water when we want to transport it. This has obviously been insulated now with polystyrene. We have a lid, And we can start it from the app or we can start it from the button. Either way, I turn it on here and on. And as you can see, here's the graph. The cold water temp and the hot water temp is shown here. Here's also the cooler, and it shows what it's doing. And we also get a little notification at the top of the display, and we focus on that. There you go. It tells you all the time what the temperature is, and you get a little notification telling you when the temperature of the coolant inside there is below -2, which means the beer is about 5 degrees. So it's now currently 16:45. Let's see when it gets to our temperature. Everything's quite warm right now, as you can see, but you can already see that the temperature of the liquid is dropping rapidly. That's the liquid inside here, not the temperature of the liquid inside here, inside the cooler itself. And you can see the hot water temp is also going up, and the lights will gradually change color. Now, I'm going to let this run, but before that I'd like to speak about some improvements. For one, this is too small. If this bottle just barely fits inside there, if you had anything bigger like a Prosecco bottle or a bigger wine bottle, it wouldn't work. And what's the use of this if you can't cool your significant other's Prosecco or wine? So I will have to get a bigger tube and redo this. Next, this here, this is getting cold and this is getting cold. Obviously that's wasted coldness, because at the bottom there's only a small point of contact besides the cool water flowing inside the coil. We want this coldness also to be put into the liquid. So what I'm going to do is just cut 2 half circles, semicircles, and then basically build them around this, and then put the towel around that, so that this whole contact point is also directly into the water we're trying to cool. And the other improvement that I'd like to do is obviously put some handles on here, because this is quite heavy and this is ugly. Cut some slots in here, so there's room for improvement. And I got this, which is copper pipe. I'm gonna redo the coil in here because there's only one spiral, and if this is getting cold, then that means that not all the energy is being transferred into the liquid effectively. The temperature at the top is only marginally colder than the temperature at the bottom, which is the inlet, and that shouldn't be. It should be able to dump way more of the cold into the liquid to cool it more effectively. And one more thing is switch the top and the bottom, because the cold water sinks, and what I found is that the drink is warmer at the top and cold at the bottom, and that's obvious. So if I put the cold water at the top, it's going to cool the top as effectively as the bottom, and especially with the extra surface area here, we would end up with a much colder drink, and it will be cooled more effectively. So let's leave that running for now. I will turn off the lights quickly. Right, we're under 0 degrees. See, obviously. Here you can see it's now changed to ready on the app, on Home Assistant at least, and yeah, the display, there's a bug here somewhere that still says 0.9, but it catches up eventually. So that's just over 15 minutes, 17 minutes to get the water inside the top here, which is 20 degrees I think when we started, down to minus 0.3, and yeah, you can see the hot water temperature 35.3, 35.4. That's fine. I mean, you can feel it coming out warm here, so it's an added bonus. You can use it as a small space heater in winter, and you have a lot of benefits. You have a cold beer and a warm apartment or house. So yeah, I'm gonna probably start immediately tearing it apart and adding the improvements that I'd like to do. I'll start with the whole design of the chamber and take it from there. So thanks very much for watching. It's been an epic journey, and I'll see you with a cold beer.